Big G's, little G's, apples, and trees. I'm Jeffrey Darty. This is a morning mantra. You know the old saying, the apple never falls far from the tree. And as cliche as it is, you can't get away from the truth of it. And the truth of it is that cliches become cliches because they are so patently true. And we can't deny their inherent truthfulness. But I want to talk to you today about how far your apple has fallen from your tree, the tree that you come from. And I want to suggest to you that you can identify whether you're a big G person or a little G person by how far your apple is from the tree, ladies and gentlemen. How far is your apple from the tree? And we're, of course, not talking about apples, but we're talking about attitudes. We're talking about defining characteristics. We're talking about default reactions and actions that occur within each of us individually. So, when something does not go your way, what is your default action? When something approaches you or comes to you or said to you that you do not like, what is your default reaction? Something bad happens, what's your default action? Something that you define as uncomfortable happens to you, what's your default reaction? It calls for some honesty. And if you look at it and you decide, how do I act? How do I react? Out of instinct, just boom. Where are you? Then you can start to say, am I big G or am I little G? Well, little G is the little God of the Bible, the false God of the Bible, the fake God of the Bible, the God that says he's jealous, the God that says he's angry, the God that says he's wrathful, the God that says he's vengeful, the God that says you will worship me, the God that says you can't talk to me like that, the God that says if you pay me. So is your default instant reaction when something comes to you that you don't like, is it of that attitude? Then you're a little G person. What is your default action when something happens that you don't like? Is it like that God? Then you're a little G person. What's the big G people like? What's a big G person like? Well, the big G God is love, peace, long suffering, kindness, patience, endurance, self control, joy, love. What is your instant default action when something happens in your life? What is your instant default reaction when something happens in your life? Now, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but it's a sorry dog that won't wag his own tail every now and then. I used to be big little G all the way. Angry, vengeful, wrathful, loud. And now I'm pretty close to big G. My initial reactions are peace, kindness, patience. But if I keep getting pushed and pushed and pushed, I go back towards that little G mentality. So I'll wag my tail a little bit and then I'll cower down a little bit too because I've still got work to do. But big G, little G, how far has your apple fallen from your tree? Another day of broadcast excellence on the way. Until then, ask questions, question answers, unindoctrinate yourself. We're the last generation of real humans. It's time to get big G, leave that little G behind, and get busy, cousins.